So basically, as you know, the decision to start a family is probably one of the most, if not the most important decision that you'll ever make in your life. And yet there's still a lot of confusion, a lot of misconception out there around the topic of fertility. And I, as a chiropractor, especially a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor, have literally probably been asked every question under the sun. And on my own fertility journey, also probably tried a whole bunch of different things and read a whole bunch of books, etc. So I'm going to debunk some of the most widespread fertility myths out there, and then I'm going to share some science-backed do's and don'ts that will actually help you to conceive naturally. So number one, do experiment outside of traditional Western medicine or conventional Western medicine. This isn't to ignore medicine. It's to say that Western trained physicians are taught to focus on the reproductive system like in isolation, not in a whole body system. But someone who's more holistically trained will review your menstrual cycle, your bowel, your sleep, your eating patterns with you, and help you to understand how your body functions. Do clean up your diet. If you haven't already. And by cleaning up your diet, there's a lot of misconception about that too. So if you're thinking about conceiving, this is a really, really important time to be focusing on food. Personally, I think that this is why I work on my kids' food now, because this is the material of their bodies is going to be important to be in good shape for years before they have kids. Like, I don't want them conceiving anytime soon. But with preconception with women, if they're conceiving in their late 20s, I want to start working with them when they're 8, 9, and 10 years of age, because that's where the preconception work is. So, but a diet that's good for your heart, your lungs, your brain, as well as your reproductive organs is going to focus on removing anti-inflammatory foods and balancing your blood sugar. So inflammatory foods would be something like gluten, sugars, especially added ones. Even dairy can be inflammatory. Corn, soy, these are things I would remove. A lot of my patients who have jumped on the Whole30 bandwagon have actually found that it has improved their fertility. So, you know, you have to keep in mind things like sugar and dairy, for instance, are actually like inflammatory enough that they can affect like endometriosis. Eating fresh fruits, veggies, organic meats, fish, some whole grains that are gluten-free, but minimal grains, dark leafy greens, especially raw dark leafy greens, prenatal with folate, and some healthy fats, like I mentioned, nuts and oils. Number 3, don't. This one's a don't. Do not blame yourself, okay? More than half of women who have infertility consider it to be one of the most upsetting instances in their life. I know for me, I was devastated. I went through 5 years of infertility, and in our family, we chose not to do like fertility treatments or IVF, and you know, no judgments around that. I just it's cycle after cycle, 2-week wait after 2-week wait. We couldn't conceive, and it becomes very depressing and demoralizing. So try not to get discouraged. Surround yourself with a tribe of people, and recognize that blaming yourself isn't really going to be all that therapeutic or helpful. Do get familiar with your cycle. I'm really surprised when I talk with women to find out that they really don't understand their cycle. Fertility tracking apps can be helpful. Working with somebody in like the couple to couple league, or working with somebody who can help you with the Creighton model. You know, it's not just for preventing conception, can help you to aid in conception. A menstrual tracker is really helpful to let you know what's going on, so that you can have a more accurate time window. You can also, if you want to, if you can spare the expense, or you can use some extra cash, you could get a ovulation predictor kit. but a lot of the information that we have about our body can be done without any tools, just our own brains. Do activate your NRF2. You probably are seeing more and more information pop up out there about oxidative stress and EMF stress and Wi-Fi and technology, like kind of bursting and increasing our free radical damage. And basically, oxidative stress is highly associated with decreased female fertility, male too, but decreased female fertility, and glutathione production boosts fertility. And NRF2, activating NRF2 helps your body to produce glutathione. So our NRF2 pathway in our body can fix both of those problems, but it doesn't do it on our own unless we actually activate it. And I've used with some patients and who have actually had a positive pregnancy tests after activating their NRF2. I use a clinically proven, heavily studied NRF2 activator, and you can ask me about that. Don't skimp on sleep. Research shows basically that healthy sleep habits are correlated with improved fertility. So putting away the phone, even if you have the fancy blue glasses, putting away the phone, pick up the books, let your body actually decompress, maybe take a bath, an Epsom salt bath. Your goals should be 7+ hours a night, but I'm going to tell you, with our depleted adrenal society, go for 8 hours a night, every night. All right. Do see a chiropractor. In many cases, I've seen people get pregnant just with chiropractic care, and the reason for that is that our nervous system is completely in charge of coordinating every organ, tissue, cell in our bodies, especially related to our uterus. And also think about, and the fallopian tubes, etc. Think about the fact that, like, your sacrum, which is a triangular bone at the base of your spine, attaches to your uterus by ligaments. And so if there's a twist in your sacrum, there's going to be a twist in your uterus and your fallopian tubes, and that might impair your fertility. So book your appointment with your chiropractor, help balance your nervous system. And obviously you need proper pelvic alignment for a greater likelihood of a natural vaginal birth. Don't gain or lose too much weight. Extremes on both ends can be detrimental to your fertility. Obesity is associated with a host of its own conditions like PCOS, etc., and can throw off your hormones and make conception more challenging. But being underweight can be disruptive too, and cause you to not ovulate. And these conditions might be associated actually with disrupted thyroid gland. So, seeing your functional med practitioner to actually take a look at root cause, whether you have some issues with your thyroid. And then do start getting healthy long before you start actually trying to get pregnant. Healthy bodies make healthy babies. So final word of advice for you: if you're on this journey, please arm yourself with a trusted team. You really need support from a tribe. It is extremely sometimes polarizing, isolating. It's super lonely, super sad sometimes, and but it can be also the greatest joy, and it can be a bumpy road. So many things can intervene, and yet there are so many things that you can do easily without spending gobs of money for fertility, just by doing a few things to learn. So I hope that's been helpful. Reach out to me if I can be helpful. All right, bye guys.